So I didn't feel like filming this while I was putting it up, so I didn't. And now the plastic roofing is up, and I'm really happy with this, and it actually went a lot faster since I didn't have to film it because, well, I've kind of run out of ways to film this. It's just kind of the same, putting roofing stuff up. I think I can only get like three videos out of the roof stuff before I get really bored with it, and I just want to get it done. Only took a few days for me to get it done, like 3 or 4 days, and now it's all screwed in nice and well. I did not go with sealant, but I can always add that on later if I need. I'm very happy with this, and you know, it's kind of amazing. It's already starting to feel like it's no longer outside, and it's starting to feel like it's inside. Now is an amazing part. Time to put on the siding, and that's really going to turn it into an inside space. So that's the stuff for the back piece, and a little bit extra, I believe. And then this is for one of the walls, and we have a bunch of 5-foot or 6-foot sections, and those would be more than enough for little patch panels and little bits and pieces. And I'm thinking that the front triangle pieces for the roof will probably come out of this a lot. So it's nice to have shorter sections to deal with. And then of course I have these smaller pieces that I can use to just kind of align things up. So the rope really overcomplicated things. It worked a lot better for the slanted part, but this is just too heavy for the rope and a counterweight, and so I could not get it to the top, so I had to lift it up anyway. And I'm thinking, well, I had another problem of it was so difficult to untie the rope. Now I have this on with only one screw, and it seems to be holding on okay. So I have one screw on, and then I can line it up to where I want it, which shouldn't be too difficult. Like, that's pretty level right there. So I think from now on, I will just lift it up, lean it against the top, because it can actually be sitting out quite a bit, and I can still have the top screw in, and then I'll just remove the blocks and it'll go flat. Instead of trying to hold it flat with the rope and trying to untie it up there, and it's too difficult. So I'll get this one all screwed in, and then we can try that one. It just occurred to me that I'm getting way ahead of myself, and I totally forgot to add the bottom purlins for the entire workshop. So these are just flapping in the wind. So I went out and got some of these 8-foot 2x4s, and they'll go down here. But it's going to be a real pain in the butt to screw them in now that I have the metal on. Okay, look at that. Perfect. Just perfect. So I'm getting a bit frustrated with this part because it's really close, and so that's why I'm not filming that much, because I'm grumpy. It's just so tedious to have this right here, and I figure that once I get this done, it'd be a lot easier to film the other parts. It's just right here, having this concrete wall right here, and just it's cold and stuff. I might not film too much of this wall because it's also me learning how to do stuff, because I found that putting the first panel up was very difficult. Putting the second panel up was a little bit easier, but still difficult. But then the next two were easier, and it's like a lot of these things. It becomes easier the more that you do it. I left a little bit of section on here, so I should be able to actually wrap this around, if I can. And it should reach right here. And then the other one can reach over that. And so it'd be really nice if I don't have to buy like trim for the side, and I can just use the edges of these and kind of bend them over, but I'm gonna have to figure something out here. Almost. Wrenches are not working. If I had a C-clamp that was deep enough and had enough foot to grab onto that, it would work. But with that one and this one, it's so small that I keep punching holes in it. So I dug out a pair of blacksmithing tongs And these are made during World War II. They have a war finish on them, so that's pretty old. And it seems to actually be helping out. So I'm undoing this pin right here, and then going in and pulling all this in. And that is pretty much it. I am really happy with how this turned out. Actually, this went a lot faster than I thought. So I got really frustrated with learning it, like on the first part here. Also because it was just darn cold and just, it really just got to me. Plus I was getting over sick, so when I tried lifting the pieces of metal, I just started getting like the shakes very bad. But I've gotten pretty good at putting the metal up now, where I can easily lift them and put them up, what's the term, with alacrity or whatever. And like I just did those 4 panels in maybe 90 minutes, and so that's not that bad. And I was thinking this phase we would take a few months, but I mean a few weeks is fine. So it looks like I am several weeks, numerous weeks ahead of schedule, and I'm about 60% under budget, because originally I was expecting maybe $5,000 or $6,000 for a big workshop, and well, now it's coming out to around $2,200 for this. That free metal really helped quite a bit. The free wood, I wish I would have gotten more, but it was good enough. The recycling the wood price saved me around $700, and so I don't mind splurging on that new clear roofing, and I also don't mind splurging on some insulation. So I'm going to get some 2-inch thick R10 insulation, and if my calculations are correct, then it'll take about 6,000 or 5,000 watts of heat to heat it up to from like cold winter on the outside to sweater weather on the inside. And so I'm thinking this would be a really good application for a wood burning stove, because a wood burning stove should really be able to heat this place up. And honestly, I know the roof is really high, so there's going to be a big gradient. I might put in some like computer fans to help blow some of the hot air back down, but mostly what I would probably be doing is I would work down here, and then I go to the loft to relax, where I want it to be warmer, and then I come back down and work some more and go back up, because that's kind of how I do. I'll work for a little bit, then I'll kind of step back, think about where I'm going, then I'll work again. It ends up being slow, but it's very deliberate work, and that's usually why I don't have as many, like, well, as far as I like to think, I don't have that many like problems, or there usually aren't as many things that I don't expect in a project. So that's a good practice that I plan to continue. But yeah, so I only have one more piece of metal left, and that's not enough to do that side, of course. So me and my father are going to go cut some more metal, and looks like I'll have plenty left over. So I might even be able to redo the roof on the other shed, but I'm just going to hoard all the metal, because I mean, we might even redo the roofing on the back of the house, because that roofing is about maybe like 8 or 9 years old. And yeah, I don't know, it's nice having free roofing. And so in the next video, we'll side that wall, and I'll also probably get some measurements so I can actually have the like the triangle pieces like sided, and the front, and all the other little odds and ends, little custom pieces, and hopefully get some of those done in the next video, and maybe even start measuring out where that window should go, because I've decided that factory window has three panes on the top, 3 panes on the bottom, and 3 panes are busted and 2 panes are fine. So what I'm going to do is, whenever I rebuild that window, I'll take the 3 good panes, put them on the top, and then the bottom I will not put glass in there. I'll make them like shutters, so they'll be solid wooden doors, or metal, I'm not sure. And that way the top I can never open. And the factory window was designed to have like hinges on them, but it's so rusted that I'm not going to trust having it like hinged. I'm just going to have it stationary. And so then the bottom 3 things will be little windows that I can open. Or not windows, they'll be little doors that I can open. They'll be opaque, and so that way I can let air through if I ever need. But I'm going to have a wood burning stove in here, made from the combustion chamber of that old furnace. That's the word, furnace, that was in the basement. That big one that I lugged up all those years back. And it's really nice because it has a big heat exchanger on the top, and so it's going to be perfect for allowing the hot exhaust to heat up the air in the workshop. I'm going to have the smokestack, the chimney, which will just be metal, and I already have most of the parts for that. But here's the thing: when I'm not using the furnace, and when I have the furnace outside or whatever, because it'll also double as like my blacksmithing furnace, I'll be able to use that chimney, that metal exhaust duct, for like a exhaust hood for welding. So I hope that I can weld in here without filling up the room with a bunch of fumes, because I know a lot of people don't like zinc fumes, but I don't like any fumes. I don't care if you're welding iron, I don't care if you're welding aluminum or whatever. I hold my breath, and that's why my welds are really short, because usually I hold my breath, I walk away, breathe, and come back, because I don't like the smell, and I don't like the idea of breathing in metal fumes. But this video is going on too long as it is. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and hopefully we get a storm, and so I can actually come out here and see how well the storm, like how well it protects from the storm. Because, like, for instance, when I just had a few pieces up, the roof actually is so high that it doesn't really help too much. It only makes like a dry square, like a few square meters. And so I think that with these walls it should help a lot, because we have a lot of crosswinds for like snow and stuff. Like, snow is sticking to the bottom of the roof. I mean, come on, that's not fair. But that's Illinois weather. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya!